Welcome back. In the last video, we learnt how every field in the one-page prompt card, your role, the audience, the context, the format, the constraints, and the language make our communication with artificial intelligence precise. Today, we will take that understanding forward. We will explore how to speak differently to different audiences. For example, your dean, your parents, or your recruiter. And then we will learn how to connect multiple prompts to form a multi-step workflow, what professionals normally call as prompt chaining. And by the end of this video, you will see how to make AI not just for answers, but actually to collaborate with you. Let us quickly jump to a situation. I'll make you understand a situation. So assume that you have completed a campus event, maybe a hackathon or a cultural fest, and you want to give a very constructive feedback about how it went. Now the way you express that feedback will change depending upon who you are writing to. You will write differently to your dean or director. You will write differently to your parents, and it would be a completely different context while you are writing to a recruiter. With dean, your format will be formal and strategic. With your parents, it would be very personal and reflective. And with the recruiter, you will try to show off about the learning outcomes that you gained in a particular learning context. Now understand, it's the same event. The facts remain the same. But every time you write to a different audience, the tone becomes different. That is exactly where audience switching comes into picture. Let's dive in and look at the screen right away. So look at the screen. The screen tells that you have to write feedback for a college hackathon that we organized. And look at the answer that you got. It starts giving you the feedback of the hackathon right away. Organizing this hackathon was an incredible experience. We witnessed amazing energy, innovation, and teamwork from participants across different colleges, and so on and so forth. So you just gave it a prompt which was write feedback for a college hackathon that has been organized, and this starts giving you the feedback right away. Now compare this vis-a-vis when you define the audience for whom this response is supposed to be meant for. We change the prompt and we write it as act as a student representative, write feedback about the hackathon for the dean. I'm very specifically telling the model that whatever you are writing as a feedback is meant for your dean. So since you are writing on your dean, now you have to think like how the models think. It is expected that you focus on outcomes so that you are able to create a perception about yourself. Focus on outcomes, participation data, and suggestions for further improvement. These all are the checkpoints that you have to take care of. And when you make your prompt look from a very simple prompt which was write feedback for a college hackathon that we organized, and with a very precise prompt that you gave now it becomes a different response altogether. Dear Dean, with the name of the Dean, you can write it as Doctor, Professor, whatever the name and designation and salutation for your Dean is. I am pleased to share feedback on recently conducted College Hackathon 2025. You can put the name of your college or university, organized by your name of the department, your club, on which date. The event aimed to foster innovation, teamwork, and practical problem solving amongst the students. Then you tell the participation and outcomes, then you organize feedback and observations, and then you give suggestions for the further improvement. What I'm trying to make you understand here is you look at the difference between the response of the model just when you change 2 or 3 lines. What actually you are changing in 2 or 3 lines is you are giving a detailed description about what you actually want, and that is the most important thing here. Let me come to task 2. Now same hackathon experience, this time you have to write to your parents. In this case, let us look at how your prompt will look like. So my revised prompt is act as a student. I am telling the model that he has to act as a student, sharing the hackathon experience with your parent. So you are acting as a student and you are supposed to share this feedback with your parents. Now I am telling more precisely to the model, use a personal tone, highlight learning and team efforts. So you want to look different when you are talking to your dean, and you want to look different while you are writing to your parents. And let's look how the output changes. If you go back and look at the response, to a dean it was very structured: participation, outcomes, feedback, observations, suggestions for further improvement. When you are talking to your parents, so you may have your own way of addressing your parents, but here is what the response of the model is. Hey mom or dad, I just finished the college hackathon and it was honestly one of the best experiences I've ever had so far. Our team worked for almost 24 hours straight. You're trying to tell your parent that so compassionate and so committed you were while being a part of it. You brainstormed the ideas, you coded, you fixed bugs, and very precisely in minimal possible words which reflect your personality, you conveyed the experience of the same hackathon to your parents. So what is here to be noticed is how your tone and emotional connect changes instantly. That's the power of audience field in the prompt card. Let me talk about the same example, but let me switch the audience one more time. My expectation is now you have to express the same experience to the recruiter, and the prompt goes as, let's look at the screen. Again you are telling to the model, act as a student, updating a recruiter on your hackathon participation in a LinkedIn post, be professional, concise and achievement focused. What I am trying to do here, you are writing a LinkedIn post. Maybe you are tagging a particular connection which is your recruiter, and then you write your experience. So this is something your LinkedIn post is going to be. I recently participated in the College Hackathon 2025 where our team developed an innovative solution focused on XYZ, whatever problem you solved. So while you are trying to address the recruiter, you are trying to showcase a sense of achievement. You and your team could develop a particular solution. There are two precise things that you are trying to highlight here. One is your technical competence, and second is your capability to act nicely in a team. So every time you change the audience, the response of the model changed every single time. So this is where you understand maybe a same thing. You don't have to be lazy. You have to know if you are writing the same experience to different audiences. You have to contextualize yourself by giving specific instruction to the model that you are talking to. So now you understand why audience matter. But let me bring you closer to the real world. There may be a situation wherein you want to refine the output further. You may not get the best output as a response to your first prompt. Or maybe if you get something which is fine, you may still want to add some data. Maybe you want to convert it into a poster caption. Or maybe you want to translate it to a regional language. You don't need a new prompt every single time. And this is where the chaining of your prompts step by step comes into picture. This is about building one layer over the another, and that's called as prompt chaining. Let's build upon where we left last. So now if you look at the screen, the last prompt was I wanted to write a LinkedIn post wherein I wanted to tag my recruiter and tell him this is what my professional accomplishment is that reflects my technical knowledge and expertise, and I wanted to reflect that I'm a good team player. Now I'm changing the same context, I'm building upon it. I'm doing the prompt chaining. What I'm saying, imagine I got my offer letter over my email 2 days back. I'm being more specific, more precise with the model. So I got my offer letter 2 days back, and today was the end of my 24 hours experience of the hackathon. Can you reword the above content that I may write as an email? Earlier it was a LinkedIn post. Now you are understanding the prompt chaining, you are understanding the context switching. So now I want this to be an email which I will be writing to the HR and inform about the same. The moment I spoke about the email, the response of the screen which is visible to you, it started with subject, excited to share my recent hackathon experience. When you gave the prompt expecting a LinkedIn response, there was no subject. But the moment you say you have to share this to the HR, it started with the subject, which is I just read, dear HR name, you can use Miss, Mr., Doctor, depending upon the salutation. I hope you are doing well. This is a courteous part of the conversation beginning. So your model is intelligent enough just because you told you are addressing this to somebody who matters in your professional career. It knew that it has to adopt a professionally correct tone. Had it been you were writing an email to a friend, it might have started differently. So that is where the prompt chaining comes into picture, wherein you are building upon the particular context. So you are continuing a conversation and it goes on further. Well, if I have to summarize, this is the conversational intelligence or layered thinking, or you can call it prompt chaining also. It is time for some homework. Try your own chain now. Maybe write a thank you note for a guest lecture. And don't be satisfied by just the first response. Maybe the response that you get does not reflect your thought process, does not reflect you. So you can tell the model specifically, this is not how I write. So you can specify that this is additional what you are looking for. Or then maybe you can add details about the topic. You can add the details about the speaker. And finally, you may like to convert it into a LinkedIn post. Observe how each step refines your message. So when you do multiple tweaks with the response that you get from the model, you are making model think deeper and deeper and deeper. And more deeper you go, more beautiful your responses become. I'll try to recap every part of the learning that we covered today. Today you saw how the same event can speak differently to different people when you talk to your dean, when you talk to your parents, when you talk to your recruiter. When you use the audience switching effectively, you also learned how to refine AI responses step by step using prompt chaining, making AI think like a partner, not just a typing tool. Your practice for the ongoing session is very simple. Pick simple tasks from your student life. Run it through a change of 3, 4, 5 prompts. And every time when the response gets more defined, you build confidence. And that's where the actual learning happens. In the next video, we will move to a more hands-on session. You will actually build your own prompt card pack, a set of personalized prompts templates you can use and reuse for academics, career, and creativity. I'll see you in the next video.